What would you do today if no one could see it? No post, no applause, no reaction, no proof that you are improving, no audience waiting to reward you for appearing disciplined, healed, successful, or strong. Just the action itself, done in silence, with only your conscience in the room. Would you still train, pray, build, and keep your promises if nobody knew? For many people, that question is terrifying because it exposes a truth they have spent years avoiding. Much of their life is not being lived, it is being performed. Their discipline needs witnesses, their kindness needs recognition, their pain needs an audience, their progress needs proof. Their identity needs constant confirmation from people who do not truly know them and may forget them tomorrow. The Stoics would call this slavery with better lighting. You may walk freely, speak confidently, dress well, and appear independent. But if your mood can be controlled by a comment, if your confidence rises with praise and collapses with silence, if your decisions change because somebody might disapprove, then you are not free. You are being governed, not by chains around your wrists, but by invisible expectations inside your mind. Validation is not new. Human beings have always wanted approval, but what was once an instinct has become an industry. The modern world has learned how to measure your hunger, stimulate it, and sell it back to you. Now, approval comes in numbers, views, likes, followers, replies, shares, compliments, and attention. Because it can be measured, it can be chased. Because it can be chased, it can become addictive. And once it becomes addictive, your life slowly reorganizes itself around being seen. A thought becomes a post before it becomes conviction. Discipline becomes content before it becomes character. A life becomes performance before it becomes honest. You stop asking, is this true and meaningful? And start asking, will this be accepted? Will it look impressive? How will people react? Every time you betray your internal standard to gain external approval, you weaken yourself. You may receive attention, but you lose authority over your own life. You may appear confident, but that confidence is borrowed, and borrowed confidence can be taken away at any moment. The more approval you chase, the less you trust yourself. Deep down, one question torments you. Do they respect me, or only the mask I keep editing? Would I still know myself if the attention disappeared? This is why silence feels unbearable to the validation addict. Silence removes the mirrors. It takes away the reactions, reassurance, and noise. It forces you to stand face to face with the person beneath the performance. And many people do not know that person. They know how to present, explain, and advertise themselves, but not how to sit alone without feeling invisible. Epictetus would ask a brutal question. If your peace depends on another person's opinion, who is your master? Anyone whose approval you require has power over you. The person you impress, the crowd you fear disappointing, and the stranger whose comment ruins your day, all gain power over you. The Stoic does not reject people. He rejects being ruled by them. You may appreciate praise without needing it, hear criticism without being destroyed by it, and love people without surrendering your identity. Marcus Aurelius understood reputation's emptiness. People will praise you for the wrong reasons, criticize what they cannot see, forget your sacrifices, and remember your failures. You cannot control the version of you that lives inside another person's mind. To build your identity on reputation is to build a house on smoke. It looks solid until you try to stand on it. Validation first costs you direction. You start choosing what looks impressive instead of what is meaningful. You announce plans for the reward that should have come from execution. You confuse attention with achievement, being noticed with becoming valuable, and being praised with being good. While you are busy looking successful, the work that could change you remains undone. Healing is invisible. Mastery is repetitive. Character is built in private. The strongest foundations are laid where no one claps. But the validation seeker cannot tolerate invisible growth. They need their effort to produce social reward. So they abandon deep work for visible work. They trade transformation for presentation. Second, validation costs courage. A person addicted to approval cannot afford disapproval, so they soften truth, hide convictions, tolerate disrespect, apologize for boundaries, and call their self-betrayal maturity. Every meaningful life attracts resistance. Choose discipline, and someone calls you obsessed. Set boundaries, and someone calls you selfish. Stop explaining yourself, and someone calls you arrogant. Good. You were supposed to change. You were not born to remain understandable to everyone or harmless enough to challenge no one. A life designed to avoid criticism eventually becomes too small to respect. Third, validation costs peace. Approval moves. One day they love you, the next they ignore you. Today your confidence is strength, tomorrow it is pride. The crowd has no permanent mind. If your worth follows it, you will never stand still within yourself. You become emotionally homeless, wandering from reaction to reaction. Compliments lift you too high, criticism throws you too low, and silence feels like rejection. This is not sensitivity, this is dependency. Beware the performance of not caring. Posting that you are unbothered can be caring in costume, a demand to be praised for appearing detached. The ego can turn humility into theater, healing into branding, and stoicism into a costume. Real strength does not constantly describe itself. Real confidence is quiet because it is not negotiating. The solution is not to hate attention. The solution is to build something inside you that attention cannot control. Build an internal standard. Ask, what would make me respect myself tonight? Not what impresses them, but what proves I kept my word, rejected temptation, told the truth, trained without witnesses, and worked after motivation disappeared. Your internal standard must be based on conduct, not reaction. You cannot control whether people appreciate your integrity, understand your boundaries, or celebrate your progress. You can control whether you act with integrity, defend your boundaries, and continue. This is the Stoic fortress, not a life without criticism, but a character that criticism cannot command. Self-respect is quieter than validation, but heavier. Validation feels good for a moment. Self-respect lets you sleep. Applause leaves. Rooms change. People misunderstand, but character remains. Private victories matter. The unseen workout. The money not wasted. The message not sent. The temptation resisted. The promise kept. They build someone who no longer needs to look impressive. Catch one validation impulse today. Before you post, explain, flex, defend, or perform. Pause. Ask, am I acting from truth or hunger? Am I offering value or begging to be noticed? Be ruthless with the answer. If it is truth, act cleanly. If it is hunger, sit with it. Do not feed every appetite because it learned to use your phone. Let the urge rise, burn, and pass. You do not have to obey every insecurity. The hunger for validation will scream that silence means failure, that obscurity means insignificance, and that being unseen means being nothing. Let it scream. A starving ego is not a dying soul. You are not disappearing. You are finally separating your identity from the crowd that was feeding on it. Sometimes the strongest move is to remain unseen, to work without announcing, to improve without displaying, to suffer without dramatizing, to win without performing, to become dangerous in silence. There is power in building a life that does not require witnesses. When nobody can reward you, your motives become visible. When nobody can praise you, your discipline becomes honest. When nobody can validate you, your values are tested. This is where character is born, in the gap between what is right and what is recognized. Freedom begins when you can do the right thing without needing witnesses. Freedom begins when silence no longer feels like rejection. Freedom begins when you can be misunderstood without abandoning yourself. Freedom begins when you stop asking the crowd for permission to become who you were meant to be. So ask yourself again, what would you do differently today if no one was watching? Would you chase the same goal, wear the same mask, keep saying yes, finally say no, continue pretending, finally begin? Remove the audience, remove the applause, remove the possibility of being admired. What remains? That is your real motive. If nothing remains, perhaps it was never your life, only a performance for people who were never qualified to define you. Start again. Start quietly. Do one thing today that earns no applause, but strengthens your soul. Keep one promise in private. Win one battle nobody will ever know existed. Choose one action that makes your conscience stand taller. That is where the real you is waiting. Not in the comments, not in the numbers, not in the praise, not in the image, in the discipline, in the decision to live by principle, even when nobody is watching. And once you can do that, the world loses one of its greatest weapons against you. It can no longer control you with attention. It can no longer punish you with silence. It can no longer buy your obedience with applause. You become free.